Squad RG, Roto Schlem here. We are bringing the heat. We are turning it up a notch. We got Rockstar Amped. Are you ready for it? You ready to turn it up? Well, guess what? We have Mr. and Mrs. Snodgrass here to demonstrate. So let's go hit the lanes and see what they got to say. Jordan, you just got to throw the Rockstar Amped. What's your first take?
I feel like I had a full season on tour with the Rockstar, and it was one of the balls that came out of my bag immediately to kind of understand where I needed to play. I liked to throw it when I could throw the ball straighter through the front part of the lane. Once I got here and I compared the two and I threw the Amped, when the Rockstar started giving me like the flat 10s down lane, I could easily switch to the Rockstar Amped. And when I miss left, in like on your typical house pattern, there's the puddle in the middle. Right. And this ball for me really dug in the oil and came off of it down lane to where I could throw it right, but then if I miss left, like it would still get the 10 out every time. But
using a Rockstar, I think that was more commonly it's used on the fresher conditions because the lanes are fresh and the back ends are fresh. It blends that out a little bit more, right?
Yes.
And it picks up, but it doesn't pick up super early like the super big balls.
Yes.
And I think that's probably where you fell more into that.
Especially once you get into the weaker balls, you know, house patterns usually have a lot more oil. And I feel like they go into the weaker balls, but you can't get them through the puddle. And that's kind of the issue that I see at home with our league bowlers. But then you kind of ball up and it's just not right. But I think that this one is kind of that in the middle, that it'll get through the front part of the lane, but it'll get through the puddle down lane to where you won't just flat 10 every time.
I like it. All right, Frank, you finally got your hands on a Rockstar Amp.
I did.
What's your first take, man? What are you feeling? What's you get a little amped up? You getting excited?
My first reaction is definitely a pleasant surprise. So I like the Rockstar in general. I feel like even though it's got a solid matte finish, it has a little bit of a cleaner cover to where it's a little bit naturally wants to blend on some older lane panels or whatnot. When I finished throwing this and I got into the Amped, I was surprised that it came off it so much that I actually had to move a couple left. And whether my angles were steep or a little bit closed down in the oil, it came off it hard every single time.
As we talk about taking that NanoStar material, but then pearlizing it, yes, there is some responsive friction,
right?
But it's not super early, right?
Right.
Like, and that leads me into what you see more so too, because you're also a pro shop operator.
That's correct.
Right? Do you see this as being an option for league bowlers coming into your store?
100%. As a whole, a lot of bowlers, especially league bowlers, a lot of them don't have a lot of ball speed. So they need a little bit of help to get that ball down the lane and know that, as the night goes on and they move left and, get into that, what we want to call wet dry or that puddle in the middle, that we have something that is clean enough to get down the lane, but still has enough core that it's going to get through the oil and get through the pins. The other thing that I really liked about it was, like we keep saying that it gets down the lane, but at one point, I never felt like it was slippery, like that it was ever going to miss it. Like whether I got it to the friction or if I got it in the oil, I knew that it was going to make the same reaction regardless.
Yeah, perfect. And so spinning off of that, because not only are you a pro shop guy, but you also bowl on the PBA Tour.
Right.
And so some of the stuff you guys see on tour, do you see this ball being able to play in that world as well?
Absolutely, because with it being symmetrical, it's nice that it still has flare potential, but also still wants to stay on line a little bit better than these asymmetric balls, to where, you know, when we get left and your rever has to be high and you have to hit it hard, but throw it slow, but separate it. You know, it's nice to have a ball that you feel like you won't have to necessarily work as hard to do, you know, all this long list of things that you need to accomplish.
By the way, in case you keep it score at home, that is pro tour lingo kind of things. Yeah, if you're like me, like you bowl league, you're just like, I just would need to hit the 1-3.
Just stand left and hit it hard.
I just need to make sure it gets there.
Right.
All right. So you think that, you know, as a whole, this is fitting in the bag? This is,
Yeah, absolutely. I think
it's going to find a home in the old
good
arsenal.
1-2 punch for sure.
Hell yeah, that's what's up. There you have it. There you are. We've got the Rocker plus AI core. Same one used in the original Rockstar, but we're kicking it up a notch with the NanoStar Pearl cover. So same material as the first one, we pearlized it. And like Jordan and Frank said, man, it gets through the front. It's got a little bit more response, more than they expected. And so that's the same kind of thing you can expect at home on your league shots or even at tournaments and stuff like that. You're going to see the ball get through the front easy, probably respond a little bit more down lane, which makes it a good 1-2 punch or a good set to have in the bag. Be sure to visit your local SPI VIP Pro Shop. Pick yours up today. And until next time, I'm Roto Schlim. Stay amped, keep rocking.